Welcome. This is our third video, and we are Naama and Rabbi David Rue, and we are talking about the tractates that describe the agricultural laws that apply to Jews living in the Holy Land. What can you tell us about today?
Well, let's start at the first tractate that deals with agricultural laws, Peah, which has 3 commandments in it. Leket, shechacha, and Peah. Leket means gleanings, shechacha literally means forgotten, and Peah means the corner. The leket is when you are harvesting a field with a scythe and you cut the grain. If there is 1 or 2 stalks remaining standing, I cannot go back and recut it. I have to leave those for the poor. If there are 3 stalks, then I can cut it down. Shechacha is after I have cut all the stalks down, I bind them into bundles of grain. I gather up these bundles of grain and make stacks out of them. If I forget 1 or 2 bundles, I have to leave those behind for the poor. However, if there were 3 bundles, then I can gather them up. Peah is the corner of the field. It's at least 1/16 according to rabbinic law of the entire field. And it should be on the road from the city, on the road at the closest point to the city so that the poor can easily find it and identify it. Meaning if there was some random part of the field unharvested, they wouldn't necessarily know that that was left for them. So it has to be left in a place where it's obvious that it's their portion. We start with the laws of providing for the poor, giving them a minimum sustenance of food every year, because this is the basis of the Torah, that we have to provide for people that can't provide for themselves. It's interesting that the Rambam, Maimonides, in the Laws of Kings says that the primary purpose of a government is to provide for those people that cannot take care of themselves. The second tractate is Demai, which literally means perhaps. There are 3 groups of people, or there were 3 groups of people. One were called the Chaverim, the friends, and they were people that were known to be reliable concerning tithes. And therefore, if you receive something, either buy it or receive it as a gift, grain, fruits, vegetables, you know that they have separated tithe, because you don't leave, one should never leave things once they're finished untithed, and so they will tithe it immediately. There is another group of people that we know never separate their tithes, and therefore if we receive something from them, obviously we do have to separate the tithe from it immediately. And there's a third group of people where they probably do, but we're not sure. So if you're a poor person, then you're not required to separate tithes from anything that you bought from these people or you received as a gift from these people, because most people, in fact, separate their tithes and you can rely on the majority. However, if you're a more comfortable person, more established person that isn't so pressed financially, then if you receive or purchased grain, fruits, vegetables from these people, you should separate the tithes. However, you should do so without a blessing. Normally, when one separates the truma, the part for the priests, or the meiser, the part for the Levite, the second tithe, the poor person's tithe in the 3rd and 6th year of the sabbatical cycle, you would say a blessing over it, just like we do over all other mitzvot, all other commandments. Here, however, because it's unclear whether we need it, and the mitzvah does not prevent the mitzvah from being performed properly, therefore, we wouldn't say a bracha at that point in time. This is the introduction, where we start with all of these things, the tithes, the truma, the part given to the priest, and the other things we will discuss in future videos.
Thank you.